What's going on, you guys? So I'm a little late. It is the 6th, so I think we're 8 days since the last video, and I actually just got back from vacation, so I was gone for 4 days. So to be honest, not a super productive week. I kind of goofed off a little bit in the beginning of the week doing like leather work stuff. So I made like some Monstera leaf key holders that, to be honest, you guys, I don't think they're gonna go to market. I'm not super happy with the final result, and I wouldn't feel comfortable selling these to somebody. And so this is kind of what one of them would look like. You put your keys inside, you have a carabiner on the very top, or a key ring, and then you kind of like, so that they don't make noise. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll redesign it or like come back to it later on and see if I can do this a little bit better. But sorry. At the end of the day, it was a pretty good day. Again, this is day 8, so it's not quite just a week worth of sales, but revenue this week was $403.15. Good week. We sold, coincidentally, another 20 of those small clips that brought in $226 in revenue. My little arm thing that I saw for the fiber laser brought in $19.43. The headrest mount for the Tundra brought in $25.25. The larger headrest mount brought in $22.43. And I sold an AirTag holder for a stroller, like a baby stroller, that I designed for $9 in revenue. So those were like the 3D printed stuff that I sold. It's a lot of, majority of it's 3D printed stuff. So there's that. I sold 2 laser engraved items this week as well. A Datsun mirror that I designed. It's like little round mirrors you see like on old vehicles. That brought in $61.99, and that I shipped out already today. And then I sold a set of French Bulldog coasters that I made. Actually haven't made them yet. I have to engrave them still, but they were still sold today, so I'm counting for today. But that brought in $19.03. So those are all the physical items that I sold this week. As far as 3D printed, or sorry, the downloaded stuff that I sold this week, I sold 4 laser engraved files. So that brought in $7.64 from one purchase and $6.78 from a second purchase. And then I sold 2 of the axe templates, like the outlines for an axe. That brought in $5.60 combined for both of those sales. So for all of that was $20.02. So pretty crazy. That's kind of like the fruits of my labor, all that work I did to design that stuff, and now it's just passive income. So $20 in passive income this week. Not a lot of money, but I mean, for no more work on my end, it's pretty nice. Total, again, revenue this week was $403.15. And then adding that to the past 2 weeks, we're at $1,093.38. What else can I say? It's a lot of money. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's a lot, A majority, almost all of it, is 3D printed stuff. And I looked earlier today, and the price for the P1S is back to what it used to be. It's $699. So in 3 weeks, you guys, I pretty much paid for the printer and the AMS, the top piece to like do multicolor, in 3 weeks. Oh, also I forgot to mention, this week I had 5 5-star reviews for the Etsy shop. So it's been really good. And considering I was gone for 4 days, it's crazy having like this little side business hustle, bringing in this much money, on the side. And in all honesty, guys, it's only a couple hours at the end of the day that I work on this. I've been blessed to be able to like focus a little bit more on expanding it the last couple weeks. And this week I wasn't able to, but I'm gonna try to do more so in the next couple days, where I try to add more items. I feel like the more items that I have listed, the more likely I am to sell more. Those French Bulldog coasters were actually my first Etsy sale, so the first one's always special, but that was almost a year ago. And I sold another set today. Combined revenue for both of those is about $40. And if I remember right, I think Etsy charges you 20 cents every 6 months for a listing. So considering I've sold 2 in about a year, that's about 40 cents in listing fees, not counting transaction fees or anything. But you know, once you have it on there, the file is saved in the computer, and whenever I sell it, I just have to load it up, engrave it, and ship it out. Same thing with all the 3D print files. You know, I don't have the physical items ready to go. Usually whenever I sell something, I just go back into my saved files or recently printed and just reprint it. So this is kind of, it's not passive income. The 3D download stuff is passive income, but for the most part, this is really close to passive income because I'm not doing a ton of physical work. You know, I'm going in there, I'm printing the label, and I'm just looking up the file and hitting either reprint, or I'm running it on the laser engraver and just engraving it. So yeah, and again, as I mentioned, I was on vacation for like 4 days, so I don't have a ton of time to work on the business. I designed some new stuff that I'm kind of working on, and then I had these come in this week. The scales for like the pocket knives. So I think I'm gonna market these tomorrow and see if I can sell a couple of these, because I think last time they brought in like $50 or $60 worth of revenue each. So it'd be cool to sell all 3. And if I sell these pretty easy, I might order some more, you know, keep it going. Yeah, I have another thing I'm working on, you guys, but I'm not quite ready to share with you guys what that is. Might be a few months before I do that. And I think I might finally put the lasers on a back burner for a little bit and focus more on learning how to 3D model. You know, I'm sure you guys have noticed the 3D printers, the majority of the sales. So I think if I really focus on it, maybe this week or next week, I might really ramp up the sales, because you know, this is starting to pick up, and I don't know if it's just a coincidence that the last 3 weeks, every week it's slowly gone up in revenue. But it'd be nice if I were to really focus on it and then it just kept on growing, you know, because we're at, I think at this rate we might hit $1,500 or $1,400 by next week. And if we do, we'll see if maybe next week we can beat it and keep just growing and growing and growing. So yeah, that's where we're at, you guys. This is the end of week 3, day 1, I think. And we'll see if week 4 ends on a good note or a bad note. But yeah, you guys, any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. Any advice? You know, I'm still kind of a small business that I do at the end of the day. So yeah, you guys, thank you guys for watching. Here's to week 4.